Good morning. It's another Friday when I'm recording, and glad to be here. You have no idea. I remember when George Bush said, "There is an axis of evil in the world." He wasn't referring to us. He was referring to Iran, Iraq, and North Korea at the time. I listened, and then I thought, okay, there is an axis of evil. I really think there are evil people in this world. And they're venal too. They're corrupt. They just shouldn't be in politics at all. And yet, we're stuck with them in this country. We don't have to look to the outside world for where the evil people are. They're right here as other Americans. Let me give you a couple of examples. Ron DeSantis, not allowing vaccines all over, not giving people masking mandates. It's just hurting people. I think there are about 283 people dying in Florida today. That's a third of the country's total. They say it's only 20%, but those are people. I know in Israel, when one person dies, there's mourning because life is precious. The numbers today are 153,000 cases plus across the country with COVID infections and over 1,200 deaths a day. When do we wake up? Greg Abbott in Texas is no better. He's doing the same thing. So the people are rising up and they're countering those mandates and doing what's sensible. But they should do more than that. They should be recalling Abbott, and they should be recalling DeSantis. Not Governor Newsom. Newsom is actually solving problems. There's good reason people want to get rid of Newsom. What's he doing lately? Well, not only is he allowing the citizens to go through with no more gas stations on top of what they already have and supermarkets, he's also tackling the homeless problem. And there is a bill going through the legislature at this point in time. They're going to allow 2 to 4 families to live on a single building plot. And this way, they can have affordable housing. In addition, you can have folks who already have a 1 family or a 2 family that may be illegal. They can finally get income and they can extend their housing to others. That's a win-win. I'm sorry it never happened in Nassau County, because if it had, Nassau County wouldn't be paying so high in property taxes. They're overwhelmed. When I left my home in 1996, my property taxes were $15,000. True, it was an acre of land. The people who purchased my home, they wound up paying at least $45,000 right now, if not more. That's absurd, just to keep areas pristine and not allowing others to come in. Well, hasn't worked for the Hamptons too well because they can't get labor to come out there and not have transportation or affordable housing. You've got enclaves, wealthy enclaves. Who's going to service all those people if you don't allow for affordable housing and labor? So I'm hoping the folks in California, because I think they begin to vote fairly shortly, I'm hoping they wake up And there is no apathy, and everyone votes to have Newsom again in the State House. It's the right thing to do. You don't want to wind up with somebody who's not going to pursue your rights over the rights of the corporation. Corporations are not people. No matter what Citizens United says, if you hurt a corporation, you can only do so through litigation. Individual people bleed, and we all bleed alike. But corporations, you can't show me one on a piece of paper that if you cut it, real blood flows through it. I don't think so. So I think it's time, and it seems to be other people think it's time to move on and accept everyone as worthy of our respect, their dignity, and to pay them accordingly. It's happening in Massachusetts. They're looking to overturn the contractor laws that are binding them to these corporations, and rightly so. They're employees of the corporation. When a corporation tells you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, guess what? You're not a subcontractor. You're an employee, and they're entitled to benefits. I know, because I hired contractors and I hired employees. For the one, I didn't have to pay benefits. For the other, you better believe I paid benefits. But my subcontractors didn't work only for me. I actually negotiated the terms of their employment. I negotiated with them when they're going to work for me. I didn't tell them how to do the job. I just gave them materials and had the job done the way I wanted. Did I scrutinize their hours? No. Did I scrutinize where they were when they weren't working for me? No, because it wasn't my business or concern. So there are evil people in this world, but luckily, and I say luckily, the decent ones outshine the evil venal ones. Right now, food deserts are being overcome in the country. People are stepping up in healthy living ways. They're doing grocery stores in food desert communities, getting rid of high content sugar, processed foods, and starches, and replacing it with vegetables and fruits and good, healthy meats. In Iowa, they were doing this years ago. They were feeding their homeless by shooting extra deer. One of the deer that they shot with their bow and arrow would be slated for the food pantry. That's the way to go. We help each other out. We care about each other. And we make sure, since we're so lucky to have the vaccines in this country, we make sure not to have misinformation. We go with the cures first. Why get COVID? The only reason vaccinated people are getting sick is because it evades our immune system. We can then transmit that disease right back to the unvaccinated population and to the kids. Makes no sense. We can stop the outbreaks. And I was on a call with Moderna's CEO, and he said, absolutely, we should all be getting our third booster shots. It's a given. Then we will no longer be able to even get the disease or transmit it. So if we need boosters every 6 months or every 8 months or whatever it is, until the rest of the population has no more outbreaks and deaths. That's what we're going to do. It's right. If you don't care about other people and you don't care about your children, well, you ought to care about the economy, because everyone who's unvaccinated is destroying all of our economies. And they're trying to do it on a global scale. Thank goodness we'll actually get the For the Families Act passed and the infrastructure programs so we can finally tackle problems and solve them, or at least be on the way to solving them. So, hope to see you again soon. There's a lot to report, and all I can say is do the right thing in California. Re-elect Newsom. He's really what you need and what you want. Nobody else. And Venal people, they'll always be there. Let's hope that good always trumps evil, because it seems that way, or we would be in cataclysmic war all the time. So I've got hope for our future, and you should too. Take care, everybody, and have a blessed day. Be safe.